Kakadosh Boker Tov, Masechet Succah Daf Amud Aleph. We're talking about 44a1, Masechet Succah. We were speaking about, right, when the Gemara was speaking about to do the mitzvah lulav. So he said, Amri, they said, the Bnei Yeshiva, ledidhu nami lodachi, which means also the Yoshvei Eretz Yisrael, they're not going to push off the mitzvah of lulav of Yom Tov Rishon. It does not push it off. So we asked the question, velakashya hanitar, which means we have these two questions. Question number one, the Tana Chada that we learned, right? B'Yom Tov Rishon Shel Chag, Shechal Yom B'Shabbat, Kol ha'am molichin et milavim l'Harabayit. Everybody takes the lulavim to Harabayit, right? Utnan idach, and we had another Mishnah that says the Bet Knesset. So metartzin, and so we answered, right? Bizman shebet hamikdash kiyach. It all depends on the Bet Hamikdash. If there was Bet Hamikdash, they go to Bet Hamikdash. If there was no Bet Hamikdash, they don't go to the Bet Hamikdash. So says the Gemara, no, that's not the explanation. No. ED, both cases we're talking about Bizman shebet hamikdash kiyach, where the Bet Hamikdash was here. Valakashan, still it's not a question. Kan b'mikdash, the kan b'gvulim. One of them is talking about inside the Bet Hamikdash. So inside the Bet Hamikdash, it's one halacha. The other one was talking about in the gvulim. Gvulim is outside of the Bet Hamikdash. So therefore, it comes out that Bizman Bet Hamikdash Yakayam Mitzvat Lulav used to push off the Shabbat in all of Eretz Yisrael, whether in Mikdash or in the gvulim, right? But the ones that were doing the Mekayim Mitzvah Mikdash used to take it on every Shabbat Harabayit. But the ones that used to take it in the gvulim, they used to take it to the Bet Knesset. But after the destruction of Bet Mikdash, right, since the Bnei Golar are not going to be pushing off the Shabbat because of the Mitzvah of Lulav, also Bnei Eretz Yisrael also, right, do not do it. So now Bnei Eretz Yisrael also, so you go to Israel, they're not going to take the Lulav and the Torah on Shabbat. Why not? Because also in the gvulim we don't do it as well. So Amalei Abai Lerava says Abai Terava, Maishna Lulav Davdinan Le Shiv'a Zecher Mikdash. What's the difference between Lulav, the Baya Lulav, right? By the Lulav, we make a Zecher, right? Shiva Zecher Mikdash. So we do the 7 days to remember the Bet Mikdash. And by Arava, we don't do that. Lo Avdinan Shiva Zecher Mikdash. Meaning, if you're already remembering the Bet Mikdash, why do you do it only by the Lulav, not by the Arava? Should also go by the Arava. So Amalei, so it comes in the answer is no. You're going to be tzechova the Arava inside the Lulav, meaning in the Lulav you already have Arava. So therefore, since you have the Arava inside the Lulav, you're going to be tzechova that way, and therefore you don't have the problem.
Arava is not clear.
Which one?
This is yesterday. Arava, that's the Arava of the Ocean Arava.
The Arava Ocean Arava. No, but it's a separate Arava. It's separate. It's not the one in the Lulav. We're saying you're Yotzei the Chova with the one in the Lulav. Yes. Okay. Fine. So says the Gemara, so Amalei, so Abaye comes and he tells Rava, there you're doing it because of the lulav. He says, 1 second, if you're going to tell me now when you pick up the lulav once, you're doing it for the lulav, and then you're going to pick it up again for the arava, nobody does that. Meaning nobody takes the lulav, picks it up, I'm doing the lulav. And then he puts it down, then he picks it up again, now I'm doing arava. You don't do that. You do it once, and that's it. So he says, Amar Rav Zvi Mishmed Rava, says Rav Zvi the name of Rava. Lulav is midoraita. Lulav is doraita. So Dinam Shiv'ah, so we do the 7 days to remember the Bet Hamikdash. He says, Arava is only midrabanan. So since Arava is midrabanan, lo of Dinam Shiv'ah Zechar. We don't do the Shiva, the 7 days to remember the Mikdash. So says the Gemara, Leman, who does this go like? If you're going to tell me it goes according to Abba Shaul, Ha'amar al-Venachal Ktiv, he says it's written al-Venachal. What is al-Venachal? Shetayim. Two separate mitzvot. Achal lulav, v'achal mikdash. One of them is for the lulav, and one of them is for the Bet Hamikdash. Vir Rabbanan, if you're going to tell me it's according to the rabbis, Tilchata Gemirala, it's al-Achal Moshe Misinai. The Amar Rabbi Yasi, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, says Rabbi Yasi, Rabbi Yochanan, name Rabbi Yechunya, Ish Bikat Bet Chotan, Eser Netiot. There's going to be Eser Netiot, Aravav Nisuchay Amayim, right? As Halachal Moshe Misinai. So this is going to be Halachal Moshe Misinai. Elam Rav Zvid Mishmed Rava, but rather it says Rav Zvid, name of Rava, Lulav, the Itz Leikar, Lulav that has the Ikar, which means it has a Shoresh Mina Torah Bagulin. So then they make Zecher Shiva Zecher Mikdash. Arava that does not have an Ikar Mina Torah Bagulin, Lulav Dinan Zecher Mikdash. So therefore, it all depends whether it has an Ikar Bigvulin or not an Ikar Bigvulin. Okay? So now says Amar Shakish, says Shakish, Kohanim Baalei Mumin Nichnasin Ben Haolam LaMizbeach Kedei Letzeh B'Arava. Do you know the Kohanim that they have a balmum, they have a blemish, they go in with the other Kohanim between the Ulam and the Mizbeach in order to be Yitzeh Chovah, the Arava, which means that they go around the Mizbeach and they have the Arava in their hand. Now, even though, right, B'derech Klal, your Kohanim that have Baalei Mumin, they can't do any of these things. They're allowed to do this, right? Why? Because Yevshal Akif the Mizbeach without going between the Ulam and the Mizbeach. So says the Gemara, Amal Rabbi Yochanan, says Rabbi Yochanan, Mi Amara. Who's the one? Where did you hear such a halacha? So he says, Mi Amara? Ha'iu Amar. He said it. The Amal Rabbi Yasim, Rabbi Yochanan says, Rabbi Yasim, Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yishum, Rabbi Yochanan, Kunya Yishvika Betchutan, Eser Netiot. Whether it's talking about the halacha of Eser Netiot, 10 saplings, 10 trees you're going to plow right before the Shemitah. The mitzvot arava in the mikdash or nisuch hamayim on Chag HaSukkot, that's the water libations. Halacha Moshe Sinai. It's going to be halacha Moshe Sinai, right? So says the Gemara, Ella, but rather mi amara. Who's going to say it? The netila. We're talking about a netila, which means in the netila when you're actually taking it. Okay, dilma biskifa. Maybe it's zekifa. It's enough. Which means, how do you do arava? Arava has to be with netila that you're taking it, or you could just zekifa. You could just put it up against the mizbeach, and that's already enough. That's called zekifa. So it says the Gemara, mi amara be'balei mumin. Whoever said in balei mumin, dilma mitmimim. Maybe it was only talking about bitmimim, which means just like any other service in the Bet HaMikdash, it only could be done through a tamim. So too, it could only be done through a tamim, not through a balei mumin. Balei mumin is somebody that has a blemish. A kohen that has a blemish is not allowed to do anything. So therefore, maybe it's only in a tamim. So Itmar was stated. Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi says Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Chad Amar, one of them says Arava is Yesod Nevi'im. The Chad Amar, Arava is Minhag Nevi'im. Meaning what we do with the Arava, there's a machloket whether it's the Minhag Nevi'im or Yesod Nevi'im. Okay, that's the machloket here. Okay, which that's what we actually hold. We hold that it's Minhag Nevi'im. That's what we actually say. Okay. Huh? What's the difference? If you say it's Yesod, it means that the obligation was done by the Nevi'im Achronim. Yeah? If you're going to tell me now that it's the Arava, he says, is Minhag Nevi'im. Which one? Yeah, we say Minhag. Because it's not a Takana Gemura, it's a Minhag. Meaning if you say it's Yesod, it's Mamash, an institution, that's it. Yotemi Minhag. Okay? Fine. Tistayem de Rabbi Yochanan Udama Yesod Nevi'im. We can actually bring a proof that it was Rabbi Yochanan that said Yesod Nevi'im. Because Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yahu said Rabbi Yochanan, Arava Yesod Nevi'im. Tistayem. So that's what we want to actually say. Okay? Okay, next. Amar le Rabbi Zera le Rabbi Avu. Says Rabbi Zera to Rabbi Avu. Yeah? Umi Amar Rabbi Yochanan. How does Rabbi Yochanan say this? Amar Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Yochaya Ish Bikat Bet Chota. Says Rabbi Yochanan name of Yochaya Ish Bikat Bet Chota. Eser Nitiyot Arava V'Nisuch Mem L'Chal Moshe Sinai. So you see from here that he's saying that even the Arava, everything is L'Chal Moshe Sinai. So he says Ishtomem Kesha Achada. He was like, oh, thinking. And then he said Shachum V'Chazru V'Yisdu. They forgot it, and then they did it again. Meaning they forgot the entire halacha, and then they did it again. So ask the Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan, how does Rabbi Yochanan say that? Rabbi Yochanan says, Dilechon Amre, Dilehoni. I would have thought that the Torah is for you, right? Is yours. Why? Because since, right, you never went from Eretz Yisrael to Bavel, there was never Tiru Fadat. However, though, now we actually see that the Bemet is Bnei Bavel is the Torah. So it comes out that according to Rabbi Yochanan, he came to the Maskana that the Bnei Bavel, they never forgot anything of the Torah. They mamash, Bnei Bavel, they went to Babylonia, but they remembered everything, right? So therefore, when he says Yesod Nevi'im and everything, it's not going to be that they forgot and then they put it back in. They remembered everything in Bavel. They knew. Think about it. What do we learn today? Babli Yerushalmi. Babli, we don't learn Yerushalmi. Yerushalmi is, they do it afterwards, you understand? But the main thing is the Babli, not the Yerushalmi. So it says, Gemara Lakash, it's not a question. Why? Memdala Dambet, 44b. He says, Kan b'mikdash v'kan b'gvulin. It all depends whether we're talking about the Lachal Moshe Mini Sinai was talking about the Bet HaMikdash, and here we're talking about when he says Yesod Nevi'im is outside of the Bet HaMikdash. Yesod Nevi'im is b'gvulin. Okay? Which one? Outside of the Gvulin is outside of Yerushalayim. Outside of even Gvulin, is not even outside of the Bet HaMikdash area. Okay? Amar Rabbi Ami, says Rabbi Ami, Arava tzricha shiur. Arava needs a shiur. But it's not going to be taken with other things. It has to be taken by itself. Because that's why it's the Shem Arava. You cannot be Yitzchak Chova with the Arava and the Lulav. Meaning somebody can't take out the Arava from the Lulav and say, I'm being Yitzchak Chova. No, it has to be separate. It has to be without anything else. And it's not the one from that you're using in the Lulav. Since More said, that's mother, you take it up by itself. You have to take it by itself. Pshita, you're not going to be Yitzchak Chova with the one that Lulav. So says the Gemara, I would have thought to say, only if you didn't pick it up once and then pick it up again. Aval Agbe, but if he picked it up, and then again he picked it up, I would say no. Like the Bemet, it would be okay. So Kamash Malan comes to teach you that Arava in the Lulav is going to be Pasul even if you picked it up twice. Meaning, even if you came and you picked up the Lulav a second time around, for the Arava, it's still Pasul. It doesn't help. Okay? Velo Chastama Rav Yitzchak says, no. Adam Yotzeh Chovato Barava Shulav. You are going to be Yitzchak with the Arava in the Lulav. Okay? Yeah, it's Machlok. The Kama Shiura. So how much is the Shiur of the Arava? Rav Nachman says, Shlosha Badi Alin Lachin. We're talking about 3 Badim Alin Lachin. Rav Sheshat says, even with Ale Echad Uba Echad. Even with 1 Ale and 1 Anaf. So you're talking about 1 branch and one how do you think? Says the Gemara, Ale Echad Uba Echad. Do you really think with 1 branch and 1 leaf you're going to be Tzachova with Arava? So says the Gemara, Eleima, but rather you have to say, even Ale Echad Shebvad Echad. Even if it's going to be one leaf on one of the branches, which means it's enough with one anaf that at least has 1 aleh. Okay, and that's halacha. But the poskim say they're so ugly; it's disgusting to do that. So that's why it has to be, the aravot have to be very nice.
Especially the cup.
Yeah. Okay. Amar Aivu says Aivu. Okay. Hava kaimna kamed Rabbi Elazar ben Tzadok. We were in front of Rabbi Elazar ben Tzadok. And he brought an aravan. Shakin chavit vela barich. He took it. Chavit vela barich. That's what we do. We take it. We hit it. And we don't make a bracha. Chavit vela barich. That's not right. So he held min hagamim. Right, the same thing. They were the children, the granddaughters of the right. They brought an aravan in front of Rav. Chavit vela barich. The kasam min hagamim. Amar Aivu said, Hava came to Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Tzadok. I was in front of Rabbi Tzadok. Somebody came in front and he said, Kiryata Idli. Yeah, which means I have Kfarim Yashli Ba'aluti, meaning I've got different Kfar is villages. Yeah, I've got different villages. Karma Ya Itli, I've got different orchards. Zetaya Itli, I've got different, the olives, right? The olive trees. And people came during the time of Shemitah, and they were coming and doing all these different things in the Kramim. And they're eating of the olives, right? Is it good what they're doing or not? Amalei came and said, it's not good what they're doing. Why? Because you're paying off from Perot Shvit, things that they're doing in your field. Meaning they cannot start working in your field and you're paying them with fruits of Shvit. Doesn't exist. So he was leaving. Amar, and he said, right? I'm already here for 40 years. And I didn't see anybody that's going in such good ways like this person. Hadarvati, right? Hadarvati. Afterwards, he came and he said, my maven, what are you going to do? Amale, he said, Afkar zetaya lechashuchaya. Now you have to be mafkir the zetim la'aniyim. You have to make that the zetim, the olives, are going to be hefker, ownerless to the poor people. Vetem pratiya lekashkushu kramim. And you're going to have to give the prutot, right, to the kramim. Okay? So ask the Gemara, lekashkusha mishare. Are you going to tell me that you're allowed to be mekashkesh during the time of Shemitah, which means during the time of Shemitah, you're allowed to come and start fixing the fields? But Tanya, we learned in the Braita, Shvi tishmetenu untashta. What does that mean that the Shvi tishmetenu untashta? He says tishmetena milekashkesh. You're not allowed to do anything to the field. Untashta milesakel. You're not allowed to. Here it says, I don't know how you translate it in English, but basically here it says in the different types of avodot in the karka, for example, whether we're talking about planting or pruning and things like that, there's other things also. For example, kishkush. Kishkush is that you're taking sikul is you're taking away the stones from the ground. Kishkush is you're I don't know. You said in English like you're shoveling up underneath, right? כגון עידוד מתחת העצים. ערבוב, אני לא יודע אם ערבוב. How was it called? Hoeing. Okay.
Refrain from hoeing.
Hoeing. And the other one is sikul, is taking off of the stones. Okay. So it says again, Amar Rav Ukva Bar Chama, says Rav Ukva Bar Chama, tre kashkushi avi, there's two different types of kashkushim. Chad setu mepile, v'chad avru yilane. One of them is to stop the holes and to cover them up with the afar, right? In order that the shorashim, in order that the roots do not become dried up. V'chad, and one of them is avruye ilane. And one of them is in order to make the ilanot that it should have like, breathing area. Okay? That should be actually here, it says soft. Okay, Avru Yelane is going to be a soul, but Setumi Pile, but to heal up is going to be permitted. Amar Ayvu Mishum Rebbe Elazar ben Tzadok, says Ayvu Rebbe Elazar ben Tzadok, Al Yalech Adam Bar Vesha B'Tod Yom Shlosh Parasot. On Erev Shabbat, you're not allowed to travel more than 3 parasot. Okay? More than 3 parasot, you're not allowed. Okay? So says the Gemara. Parsa, every parsa is 4 meal. 4 meal. Huh? Well, there's a problem of tisot, but here it's talking about that you're not supposed to go more than 3 parsot. Every single parsa is 4 meal. Every meal is 18 minutes. So 72 minutes is 1 parsa. So 3 parsot, it's 3 times 72. Yeah. All right. No, so a lot of people, they do it. There's a whole question about it. Are you allowed to do it until when? For sure, in the morning, you're probably allowed to. The question is in the afternoon, and then, there's all these questions. Okay? So Amar of Kahana says of Kahana, Lo Amran Ela Levete. What are we talking about? We're talking about, it says here, a person that's going back to his house. Because since they don't know that he's going to get there today, they're not going to prepare for him Tzorcha Shabbat. But if he's going to a Bet Malon, for example, he's going to a guest house, right? So then, Amai Dinakit Samich. So then he's going to be Somech on the Surah Shabbat of whatever they're going to give him. So then it's going to be okay. Meaning, if you already know that you're going as a guest, so then that's much better. Because then they're already preparing for you. If you're just going home, it's a problem, right? And some people say, even if you're going home, right? Why? Even though everything you're going to find in your house is yours, nevertheless, we're still going to expect maybe they're not going to have enough for Oneg Shabbat, and all the more so if you're going to an Aksanya, the same thing, you're going to have even a bigger chashash. So Amar Rav Kahana comes in and says, and Mike, we had a case, I wasn't able to find even mamash nothing to eat lichot Shabbat. So you imagine, he went home, there was nothing. So that's why it's a problem, that you have to make sure that you always have Tzorchei Shabbat. That's the entire concept. Okay? Yeah, mitzvat lulav. Yeah, Ketzah. What is the case of mitzvat lulav? So he says, this is the 2 dots, okay, on the bottom of Memdala. He said, Nachman, Sudarim al-Gaga Yitzvah. We're going to put all the lulavim on top of the Yitzvah. So Amalei, so they came and they said, Vechi memhe amud aleph on the top. Vechi liyabshanu tzarich. He says, well, you have to dry them up over there. Ela'im abarad, you have to say al-Gaga Yitzvah. You're putting it on the sarsal in itself, which means the Gaga Yitzvah is like a shade on the lulavim, and therefore it's going to stop that it's not going to start drying out. So Amar Rachba Amar Yehuda says Rachba Nimar Yehuda Harabait stav kafulaya. The Harabait was a stav kaful, stav lifnim stav, which was one inside of another. So here's a picture 518. Yeah, Harabait was the. Now you see it over there. Harabait stav kafulaya stav lifnim stav. So it says it's one inside of the other one. So he says it's tabot makifot tov. It's tabot achrim mekef lifnim me'akef. So it's like one inside of another one. Okay, fine. Zat Hashem, we continue tomorrow.